super glad to be here with you today. I have 20 minutes of rest and digest for you. So we're just going to chill for 20 minutes. I have a blanket. I've got a bolster. You're welcome to gather any blankets or pillows that you have to support you. We're going to start in an easy back bend. So just the lift of the heart, really. You might not even want to use the whole word back bend. And I'm going to fold my blanket to make a little lift. It's a flat lift. It's not round. It's flat, but it's about that high. You might find once you get there that you want yours to be higher than that or lower than that. But I've got something across, and I'm going to be putting this, I want my shoulders to roll over the top of it and my head to come down over here. So I'm going to be putting this under my shoulder area here. I don't want my bolster to be too far away, so I'm going to put that, but let me get this organized first. So my bum's coming down, and I want my arms to come up, and I want my shoulders to kind of spill over the top. So if you get here and you find that you're kind of crunched and lifted, it's because you're not far enough that way. So your shoulders are on the blanket, they're not going to pour over. And you're going to feel like your elbows are lifted and everything's a little tight through the neck. So I'm scooting back a bit more, and this is going to come underneath the tips of my shoulder blades so that the shoulders kind of fall off. And you can touch with your hands and feel that the blanket isn't underneath this top of the shoulder area here. And then the arms can come up kind of like I surrender. I want the bolster under my knees. You might be fine laying the legs long, but with my back, I know I definitely need the bolster under my knees. So I'm going to get that organized and show you what that looks like. This is the thing about resting. There's a little bit of prep work to resting well. So that's that. And you might have a little towel or something to rest over your eyes. It's ideal if your heels are resting on the ground. That helps you rest and digest. And while I'm here, I'm just breathing. So I'm going to bring the air in and out, nice and deep. I don't want to force the breath. So if I try too hard, then even the breathing will seem like it's another stressful thing to do on my to-do list. So let yourself breathe pretty naturally. And then start to breathe a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. Feeling for when enough is enough. One of the signs of maturity really is knowing when enough is enough. So as you rest here, you might find that the back of your head starts to sink a little deeper into the floor underneath you, a little bit deeper into the mat or deeper into the carpeting. And stay right there and let your body kind of surrender to gravity. Resting is a skill, so as we get better at it, we become more tuned into the signs, our own signs and signals of letting go. And that feeling that you're just cooperating with gravity, that you're softening into the ground underneath you, is a pretty good indication that you're relaxing well. Sometimes it happens the first 30 seconds, and other times it takes quite a while. And draw in a nice, generous, deep breath. Like fill up, open your mouth and let out a sigh. And let that sigh turn the volume down on the inside voices and sensations. And we'll just be here one more minute. To exit this pose, we're going to be rolling into a fetal position. So you can start by bringing your feet flat to the floor, or the feet flat on top of the bolster even. Then bend your left elbow and roll your right arm across and roll to a fetal position on your left side. And there's really no hurry. You can take another deep breath in and out there, and then come on up to seated. And I'm seated cross-legged here, but we're going to take our feet actually flat and drop the knees to the left. I've got the bolster on the left. I've got my blanket here on the left. And my legs have the feet going to the right with my knees to the left. So a little side sit. I'm facing this way and my bolster's out, like my left arm is coming out like here. It's like the bolster's on the outer hip, like hugged up against. And so what I want to work for is a twist. So rotating, so I'm facing my bolster. When I get there, I might find that, whoa, my bolster's way back here and my heart's this way. So I can like angle my bolster so that when I lay down, I'm coming right on top of the bolster. And if you get there and you find that you're not quite supported enough, then you can bring your blanket here, and the blanket can bring it up a little bit higher. In this kind of rest work, we really aren't looking to stretch anything. We're looking more to be well supported. So I would err on the side of caution. I would like to see you lift up yourself more than have to collapse down more. Like blue ribbon for not being as low, you know? So go ahead and scramble and get another blanket even to make this about as high so that when you come down, you feel easy. And you see, I'm going off to the left side of my body, and if my left cheek is down, my neck is very neutral. If the right cheek is down, my neck has more than a twist, so that you can decide which side you want to rest your cheek. And as you settle in here, if you would, get a feel for the length of your breath. In particular, count a little pulsing count to your inhale. So maybe the inhale naturally is a little bit of a 3 count or closer to a 4 count. It doesn't matter what the number is or how fast you count. You're just getting a feel for what that pace is. And the exhale might be even to that. It might be shorter than that. It might be longer than that. But in particular, notice the count for the inhale. And then in order to drop your nervous system down more, you would lengthen your exhale. So if the inhale is a 3, then see if the exhale is willing to be a 4. If the inhale is a 4, see if the exhale is willing to be a 5. And then maybe after a few moments, the exhale is willing to be a 6 or a 7, maybe even an 8. And it's like being a very compassionate friend to yourself, so don't rush your breath. If it's not ready to be lengthened on the exhale, then keep it where it is. And as you relax through your jaw, your inner throat, you'll likely find that it begins to offer you a little bit more. Now we'll be switching sides, but you'll want to stay as relaxed as possible when you switch sides. And I find that leaving the bolsters and the blankets where they are is most helpful. So as you walk yourself up, just pivot around on your bottom until your opposite hip, the right hip, is at the bolster. The right knees are in the bolster. The feet go to the left. And sit upright and rotate your spine first. So the heart is coming to the right. You might have to shift the ankle a little bit, but it's not as bothersome as moving the whole arrangement. Come down and fold. This time the left cheek is going to give you the twist in the neck, and the right cheek is going to be neutral. And then you simply go back to the breath. Simply go back to the breath and start dialing your system down to stillness again. And it's like dropping a pebble into the pond and watching the pebble slowly descend down through the water, deeper and deeper. The exhale longer and longer. Quieter and quieter. recommended breath pattern for reducing anxiety is 1 to 2, which means your exhale would be 2 times as long as your inhale. It's become a barometer for me to determine the state of my nervous system, whether I'm triggered or relaxed, uptight or at ease. And particularly in a twist like this, there's a bit of extra compression, so not to worry if you're not quite at that 1 to 2 ratio. Just allow a little compassion and lengthen your exhale. And just let the breath support you. It's a really powerful tool. And what we know that is when we're anxious, we prefer a lot of go, 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 because that's so aligned to that anxiety energy. But what we really need is this. Supportive poses with deep breathing, relaxation and ease. Go ahead and walk yourself up, right. And we're going to face the bolster and come to kneeling. Again, you may still need the blanket on top, or you may not, but we're going to bring the knees apart and bring the bolster between the knees, so it doesn't have to go all the way up to your groin, but at least in here. And I'm pulling the blanket forward to kind of close the space between the bolster and my belly. And when I come down onto the bolster, like a child's pose on a bolster, I don't want a big gap here where my belly's going to collapse and my back's going to bend. I want to feel like I'm supported. So you can even like take a couple smaller pillows and kind of build up a little support there. And you can rest your hands on the bolster with the elbows down, or rest the hands down and the arms just at ease on the floor. Either cheek that's down, you can just relax, and I'll cue you to switch sides if you'd like to practice evenly. I'll take care of watching that time for you. Relax the inside of your throat. Relax the inner ears. And there's an optic nerve behind your eyes all the way to the base of your skull. Relax that very busy channel. Let the eyes rest closed and relax. Eyeballs in the socket and the nerves that travel back. And relax your jaw and the sockets of your teeth. And relax your lips. And turn your head in the opposite direction. and then walk yourself up so that you can come to seated in an easy sit. Rest your hands on your knees, palms down. And then hands together, prayer at your heart. Thumb knuckles at your third eye. Namaste.